Evening, everyone. It's 5:45, and this is your closing comment for Monday, Valentine's Day, February 14th. So if you didn't get a card or flowers, you better get your ass in gear. Okay, so today was kind of a weird day. We were down 300 in the futures early this morning when the uh, minister of Foreign Affairs came out and said that they were still open to diplomatic relationships. The Dow went from minus that 300 to up 90. By the open, it was back down. Same situation with the Nasdaq, down 150 to up 15, and the S&P down 40 to up 12. At the end of the day, though, the Dow had been down as low as minus 434, rallied and made back about half that and closed down 171.89, or about a half a percent. The Nasdaq did better, closed down only 0.24, 24 cents. So I'm not going to bother with the number there. I will tell you that of the 11 groups that I follow, 10 were down. The only one that was up was mega cap stocks. So all those NASDAQ 100 stocks. The S&P was down just under 17. The Russell down 936, about a half a percent. The only one that was up was the transports, up 119.86, or 8 tenths of a percent. So the day was really, LAVROV says this, Bullard says the front end of the rate increases ought to be front end loaded with 100 basis points by July. I can't imagine that that is really front end loaded. If they start in March, April, May, June at a quarter of a point each, there's your 100 basis points. In any event, the 10 year got down to 191 early this morning from its close around 2. It got all the way back up to 202 and looks like it closed right on 2%. As far as the market internals, 3-2 down on the New York Stock Exchange, 2-1 down on the Nasdaq. Volume went from Friday's 4.2 billion, pardon me, 5 billion, all the way back to 4.2 billion. So a pretty big decrease. Splunk turned down an offer from Cisco to be purchased. The stock was still up. It was about a $20 billion deal. Splunk closed 124.97, up 10.46, or 9%. Cisco finished 53.18, down 72, so basically market. KELYA, Kelly Services, the staffing company, closed up 361 on a miss in revenues, but a beat in earnings and the dissolution of their relationship with Persol. The stock was up 21%. BDSI, a biotech company, got a cash bid of 560. Stock closed 554, up 190, or 52%. Naturally, there are already lawyers involved saying, we don't know if this was the best price, and we're going to sue the board of directors to find out. And Gravity Games, GRVY, one that I don't normally watch, but when something goes down 26% in the day, it grabs my attention. This is a South Korean electronic games company. In the end of 2020, the stock was 239. During the fall last year, it was 116. Today it closed 45.44, down 16.34, or 26%. Uh, they have a game that has disappointed them, and they have yet to roll out its new version. So we'll see that shortly. The chart on the screen is the oil. This is a 1 day for the oil. We opened back here Sunday night at 5 o'clock, and as you can see, we got all the way up to what was the high of the day initially, 94.94 that I mentioned in this morning's. Then we topped out in that general area, 94.60 around the middle of the night, and by this morning at 6 o'clock, well, let's just go to the low. The low was 92.09, and that occurred around 7 a.m. So, we did rally a little, came back in, and then by the end of the day, with the issues of LAVROV and no real progress, and the U.S. closing their um, facility in Kiev, and moving everybody further west from the embassy, we shot straight up to a new recovery high, 15 years in the making, 95.82, and we closed around 94.78. And on the day, let's take a quick look here, on the day, that was up 2.5%. What didn't move up, though, as it turns out, were the energy stocks. So no real reaction there. Gold was substantially higher, closed up 27.30, up into this 1869 area. Looks like we could have another assault at the highs. Let's go to the weekly. This is 1919 and change. We are 1869. I would have to see a close above 1879 to think that we're going to try that over 1900. But it is a good looking chart, and this is the weekly. Let's push it out another year so you can see the all-time high here is 2090. Not sure if we can do that. There ought to be some supply in here at 19 to 1920. Um, Bitcoin didn't do much of anything. The dollar was up 28 cents. The bonds were down one. And our position that we have, UNG calls, which is nat gas, also performed remarkably well today. Uh, when it opened last night, it was up 15 cents, came all the way back down to about unchanged. Um, and Before this morning's open, but as it turns out, had a very strong day and closed 419 and a half, up 25 and a half. There's a close here at 424, so we're pretty close to that. I think we're probably going to have a problem here at this gap. This is from 446 to 448, 448.70 on the low, on the, pardon me, yeah, 448.70 on the low here, on the high here, 446.80. So 680 to over to 780. That should be an area where we might see a little bit of a pullback. Tomorrow we have PPI, Empire State Manufacturing, and the TIC flows, which used to be called the flow of funds. It's for outside investment in the U.S. and investments outside the U.S. for American citizens. So we'll get a look at that. I don't know that it's market moving. I'll be back in the morning.